Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm the Toy Chic, and today we're checking out one of those niche lines that we grew up loving, probably forgot about, but they're pretty much universally loved. During the time of the anthropomorphic superheroes, the brothers, the teams, the animals of all kinds, Battletoads, Ninja Turtles, Bucky O'Hare, this one stood out to me and it still struck a chord in my heart throughout all this time. Maybe it's one that you remember because, like I said, people forget until they see the pictures. But we're checking them out today, and that's coming up right now. So thanks to Warner Brothers Hanna-Barbera, debuted it in 1993 in syndication for us to enjoy for 2 seasons. We did receive the Swatkats. They came out with a lot of different merchandising as well to coincide with the cartoon that was running from 1993 to 1995. A lot of clothing, accessories. You had some Halloween masks. You had some tie-ins with Carl's Jr., Hardee's, and White Castle. It did release some fast food toys for us to enjoy, lacking paint and whatnot, but you were able to get characters that you would not receive in toy form. Later on, in 1995, before the series was ending, we did get the Super Nintendo game, which I always remember it, but I never had the opportunity to play. I do love the artwork on the cartridge. It actually is quite sought after, fetching a pretty big penny, but we're not here to talk about those ancillary items. We're talking about that main toy line, the best thing that was released. And who took up the mantle of doing that? That's going to be that famous company, old school company, they ain't around anymore, as Remco came out with one of their last lines of articulated action figures, and actually really good articulation with the type of figures that Remco was producing in the past. But today, we're checking out those, and we're going to show them off right now to you guys. 10 plus years in the making for me to put this grail list together. This is a line by Remco out in 1994. 4 figures released in the line, and that is all. You have your 2 main characters, which is all you pretty much need, but if you're a completist. And remember those characters from the cartoons, you got Dark Cat and Dr. Viper you could pick up as well. I do not own them. I've always only cared about the Swat members themselves, which is going to be Razor and T-Bone, and in my opinion, Razor is the harder one to find, but T-Bone's card in great shape is much harder to find. And that is what we're going to talk about here for just a second. I did look these up in my little logbook of prices I've kept since 2013, and I did wind up purchasing this in 2015 for $120, which at the time was very expensive because, as I was looking on the chart, which is absolutely crazy, some of the prices that are on there, especially for Ninja Turtles. I was buying, like, Scale Tail was like $60, Worm was $38. For you guys that don't know, those figures are near or past $100 now. So very, very cheap. So during that time, $100 for a figure was really, really expensive. These figures have gone up in price, but not as crazy as you would think for how expensive they were back then. It is a niche line. A lot of people didn't know that these toys were even released. And I mean, when they see them, you definitely remember them, but it wasn't a line that was often seen during that time. I think a lot of us were outgrown toys, and this would kind of be like a younger brother kind of thing, because my brother definitely had these figures, which I do own. We're going to show off the loose variations of those here just shortly, but these are the card backs. So I did receive this one in 2015. This was like one of my first original grails. I always wanted to get these carded, and even at the time they were really expensive, so it was kind of a grail I was shooting to achieve. I did have the loose figures that we do have right here to show off. They are complete Razor and T-Bone. They just came with one accessory piece each, and articulation wise, you got what, 5 points of articulation. So kind of like what's coming. I guess you got the tail and the back, so you got 6 points, but pretty much the type of toy that's coming back now. But in any case, these figures, my brother had these. I did play with these when I was playing with my Ninja Turtles. I always remember in some of my battles and stuff. So it was during a weird time where I was still kind of playing with toys, but not really collecting them as well. But I always loved these, so it was super fantastic to get these for my brother. I think I might have Razor, but I'm missing T-Bone. But my brother has both. They're complete, so it's nice to have both those figures, but I always wanted to have them carded. So I did wind up winning this one way back then for $120. And it came in really good shape. It has a big case, actually, that it came in with. Too big, if you ask me, but it does have a crease on it. These cards are often really messed up. They do have a nice card stock. It is not too thin, but they tend to crease and bend quite easily. Sometimes if left out in the sun, you're definitely going to have some nice yellowing to the bubble there. These are both clear bubbles on this, but I still remember back then, I thought this was in better shape until I got it, and I was really upset that it had that curl to it. It came in really nice packing and stuff. It was just the way it was. But hey, that is what it was. The figures wind up going up to $160, and that was my limit, and I never wanted to pay after that. Nowadays, if you're looking to pick up these figures, they would go around $250 for a long time, $240, $250. But this one right here that I recently won to finally complete one of my longest grail things that I wanted to pick up, and that is T-Bone. 10 plus years I waited to find this figure on card. I wind up winning an auction for $182, so very expensive, but still it used to be going for $240, $250, so the price has definitely settled down. My max I wanted to pay was $160, so that is not too bad. I'm not lying. I have searched for these, when it comes to my mind, which is, fairly often over the years. But in all my time, I have only seen 4 good card backs that were super straight. The last one I missed, and it actually ended at $240. And this was the next one. That was 2 years ago. So when this one popped up, I just was like, I wanted to take this off. It's going to be more years waiting for it. A nice card back to come along. And I just wanted to take a chance. I did pay more than I wanted to pay, but it's finally out of my head. One of my grails definitely knocked off the list. It came really good. It's great shape. It does have a little crease here on this that did occur during shipping. That was not on the pictures online. It did take a ding, the box did, but it's really clear. It's very nice, high grade still, but it's just more so important to be able to put these together. You can find these on Italian cards. They are cheaper to buy. I do not like the card style that they do use on the Italian card backs. The wording's all different, the cats all on there, the colors are different, it's just more muted. It doesn't pop as good, but if you're looking to get some nice figures for cheap, definitely can go that option. This figure comes up quite often, but the box is always super Spider-Man creased up to no hell. And this one pops up every once in a while, like I was saying, but it is finally done. One of my longest running battles, 10 plus years. I got this in 2015. I've been searching for this ever since. So I don't know, 9-10 years pretty much to finally complete this super expensive lot. Like I said, I do not need Dr. Viper or Dark Cat. They look okay. I've never seen any of these figures in person at cons or any of those things. It's definitely a line that you just have to come across and be willing to hunt down and search for. But these guys are super cool. What happened to Swatkats? So 2015 rolls around the same time I'm buying this figure. There is a new Kickstarter for Swatkats Revolution to bring Swatkats back to the masses. There were no figures released during that time. The Kickstarter, I believe, did fund, but pretty much the only things you could get from there were animation cells. They had clothing, accessories, knickknacks, things like that, but no figures were released. And nothing ever materialized from that. Still waiting on new figures of these, although there are whispers that Premium DNA might pick up the license for that, which would be fantastic because their figures are some of the best out there, and they would absolutely nail doing Swatkats line. Again, I just need these 2 figures. I don't need any more. Probably since 2015. I've also had this T-Bone figure on my wish list every year. It's always on the fridge. Who's going to get marked off for the year, and he always gets carried over to the next year, and it's finally off there. It's very hard to scratch off some of the grails on your list that have been there for a long time. I'm getting so close to having most of them. Star Wars Rancor, I am coming for you next, sir. That will be done. I can finally knock that off. We ain't talking about Star Wars today. We're talking about Swatkats. These things are awesome. So cool. I need to get these in cases. Always love Swatkats. I love cats. So of course I'm gonna love Vigilantes, you know, driving the Turbojet, which was never released. I do believe there was a second series for the Remco line that was going to be released before it was canceled. The show being canceled from rumors of being too violent as well. I believe Ted Turner, president of the company, actually cut it down for that. But like I said, ran for 2 seasons. No DVDs ever released. Well, I hope to see some companies pick up a nice revival of this fantastic toy line, whether it be premium DNA or possibly Nacelle. Someone come out with a modern version to go with all these amazing figures that we have coming out nowadays. But it's so cool to finally be at the end of this journey. Very hard, very rare and difficult to do in your toy hunting journey when you're looking for grails for over a decade to be able to mark off the list. So it is a very great feeling, and like everything else, on to the next one, like you guys are going to be with the next video that you guys go to check out. So if you got some value out of this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you really want to see some more, and please come back for more. I am the Toy Sheik. Mad love, geek out. I'll see you guys on the next episode.